Well, welcome back to the Smith family story, the 9-part caregiving series where I take you over my shoulder and show you what really happens inside a family when aging starts changing everything. So this is part 2 of 9. And if you missed the earlier videos, go back and start there first. Hi, I'm Suzanne Fasella, a retired physician assistant and healthcare advocate, who teaches family caregivers how to go from emotional chaos to strong leadership in senior care with more confidence, less exhaustion, and the right resources. I don't fix problems. I teach caregivers how to fix their own problems. So let's get started. We already talked about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We talked about Mary and her husband, Dan. So here's the next part. After I speak with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I always turn to the caregiver and his or her family. And that's where the real tension lives. So who is this other family? Well, it's Mary and Dan. Mary sat across from me at her kitchen table, alone. I did not want her husband there. She didn't start with complaints. That's interesting. She started with a promise. And her promise was, I told them I would always take care of them. This is very common. Taking care of them means something very special to Mary. She has an idea in her mind what that means. And that sentence carries weight. But promises made at 30 feel very different when you're 50. Her brother lives out of town. He flies in for the holidays. He calls occasionally. He loves them, and that's okay. But he doesn't live in the daily reality. He doesn't see that these parents, who were once 50 themselves, are now 70 in their 70s and 80s. Mary does. And then there's Dan. Dan is her husband. And how does Dan feel about this? He likes his father-in-law, he says, but he has never gotten along with his mother-in-law. So why on earth would he be inclined to have her live with them? He doesn't say it harshly. He says it quietly. And that's often worse. And the reason I say that is, and the reason I had to talk to Dan alone is because I did not want him to be influenced by Mary. Because now this isn't just about aging. It's about their marriage. It's about space. There's history there, and we have to work with that. There's old wounds that we might have to open up. And there's unspoken resentments. And what are those all about? This is where caregiving quietly fractures families. Not because anyone is cruel. They never are. They have the best intentions. They love one another. But it's because love and duty are tangled together. Mary feels responsible. Her brother feels distant. Dan feels cautious. Her parents feel stubborn. There are so many different ways to describe this family. And on top of that, everybody thinks they are right. If I only looked at the diagnoses or the medications, I would miss this entirely. That's not what a good patient advocate or medical advocate does. The real question isn't, should they move? It never is. The real question is, what is everyone prepared to carry? So when I ask that question, I have it in the back of my mind, because if this isn't clear, every decision is going to feel personal when I approach them. Every suggestion is going to feel like criticism. Every change is going to feel like betrayal. Why? Because we changed our promises. Caregiving doesn't explode overnight. Never has. It's that crisis that I was brought into that was building up for months. It erodes when expectations are unspoken and roles are undefined. Most families start reacting here. They don't understand what's going on. They're emotionally involved in it. They're seeing more pressure, more convincing. There's more guilt. All of it goes together. But there's a different way to approach this. And we have to step back and look at what that is. Before anyone talks about assisted living or moving in together, something else has to be separated first. That's why I start the conversations like I do. In the next video, I'm going to show you what to do. So until then, take care and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.